Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints, where I've been grinding for a while, and I've gotten a bunch more stars, so let's read this text again together. Add a word to the spiral of stars, then gain 1 key and 1 gem for each rank reach, then lose 3 steps for each rank reach, then gain 1 coin for each day spent, and then lose 2 stars. If you have less than 40 steps, gain 1 random item from the showroom. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one's interesting. If, and it just keeps going. Okay. I lost 2 stars doing that, but it was worth kind of seeing where it's going. Gain 1 random item from the showroom. That is crazy. So, in the last few days, I've done a few other things. I've accidentally seen a couple things from other people's playthroughs. So I have microchips in my inventory. It turns out you can take the microchips out, and at the end of the day, like if they get lost or whatever, if they're in your inventory, or if you trade them in at the trading post, for example, where they can be valuable, they just come back the following day, and they're in their original positions. So one is by the West Bridge, one is in the entrance hall, and one is in the Black Bridge Grotto. And so I've been picking up the microchips, and I actually did trade them in at the trading post one day to get some items. So that was nice. I also accidentally saw, unfortunately, like what I guess is a solution to castling. I had written in my notes because we'd gotten a memo about one of the blue memos about something going on with castling. Let me actually go read the blue memo. Hold on. It read, "The power must shift to perform the ritual of castling." And I was thinking, power must shift, and what could it mean? In my notes, I'd written down the gas line power to the 4 flames, steam power to the remote unit, pawn promotion as like changing your power, something with the monk or the scepter or the stone and the crown and the throne that we had found when we opened up the antechamber and the outer grounds. What I did not consider, and I was kind of close, was changing powers from day to day, from a king to a rook, or presumably a rook to a king. And so I saw someone who had drafted full chessboards a couple of times, and they happened to be changing from a king to a rook, and all of a sudden something happened, so I immediately stopped the video. But in the meantime, off camera, I have changed my power to the king. Let's see. What would be good for today? If I spend gems, we'll add a chest to the entrance hall, sure. The lab experiments are the main ways that I've gotten my stars up, as you can imagine. On the previous day, I had the one that's like every time you look at your map, lose 10 steps and gain a star. And I bought the silver spoon, and I had tons and tons of steps. And so I was able to do that 10 times, for example. Yeah, so in any case, off camera, I've changed my power to the Banner of the King, which if you click on it, it says choose a color. Rooms of the chosen color are more likely to be drawn while drafting today. And you don't have to do it until you're in the middle of the day, which is pretty nice. And so I've already got my queen on my chessboard. I'm going to need to get the office to get a king, but the rest of the chessboard pieces should be really easy to get. So I'm going to try to draft out a full chessboard today. And I do have a key card. So I'll go ahead and do this. It's also the case that I have tested the pick sound amplifier and some more things. I've tested a lot of my own theories that have all turned out to be wrong. Some of them being pretty cockamamie theories or whatever. So it doesn't even seem worth showing on camera, some of the ridiculous stuff that I've tried when it doesn't work out. But yeah, I will bring you back because I think at least one interesting thing is going to happen by the end of today. Okay, so it's the end of the day. I have a full chessboard. Choose your piece to receive a new permanent power. My current power... Oh, it takes it away. Is the Banner of the King. But I am going to change to the Rook. You've accepted the resilience of the rook. And look what happens. This is where I stop the other person's video. The king and the rook, they're exchanging places. We've performed the ritual of castling. Ooh, and another door opens. Okay, that's interesting. I don't even remember which piece used to be between them in this layout. But that is interesting, and there's a step over here, and this is going somewhere new. Okay, this is exciting. Rather than just rush in, as I tend to do, why don't I actually look around at the environment and make sure that I'm not missing something down a hallway? And the music is also mysterious and a little bit threatening. It basically has taken the precipice music and added 2 layers, one of which is almost like a train tracks kind of rumbling. Oh, we've seen this in Alzara's vision. Are these guys holding more Jai boxes? They are. Okay. One of them is missing over here. And then obviously we have the bassoon coming back again as well. Okay, this is really interesting. So, 4 guys on the left. 4 guys also on the right. There's one missing over here too. Can't tell. This looks like it's been boarded up almost. What about over here? Here, not so much. Oh, and it's like an Arindian grave or something. So I'm missing a scepter. You may recall that the monk had something about scepter, stone, crown, and throne or something. And the scepter is something I have not found, and I was wondering... Oh! There's a picture of an old guy here. An old man sitting in an even older chair, one might imagine. Who is it? I do not know. Okay. Let's try to solve some of the puzzle boxes. So I would need to get 4 blacks in the 4 corners. In order to do so, I am going to have to change the oranges also to blacks, and the purple and the green seem to afford me the opportunities to do that. And so if I rotate this around, this one could go ahead and turn to black. Then similarly, I could dance the purple over here in order to move this around. And having done that, I could dance the purple back over here, move the... That'll work fine, because I think if I spin it like this, I think orange will turn to black here. It does. And then I can spin you here and train cars you guys here and you guys here, and now all 4 corners are black. And what is our reward? And in sky above, a brilliant sign. I'm glad I have a magnifying glass for this. And in sky above, a brilliant sign. Also, this is centered text. And I wonder if there's going to be an order to this. And in sky above, a brilliant sign. Okay. Basically the same puzzle. So I feel like this is not going to be a problem. I think I do want a black on the bottom so I can be train carsing everybody. And then purple could shove a black over. Oops. What did I just press? Oh, this is not pink. This is purple, which is always going to head south, which is maybe not what I want. Okay, this will be a little bit more difficult then, but I still think I should be capable of greatness. What is the strategy here? Well, I can go ahead and get one of the oranges turned to black just by doing this, and this gives me train cars in all 3 rows. That seems pretty powerful. One of the train cars needs to move up top. Now I have the chance to change the other orange. Great. And then that train car can move up top, and then they can slide around like this, and these guys can slide around like this. A sullen cross as 5 stars align. This is one of the constellations in the observatory. Yeah, so this is talking about constellations, maybe. Okay. This time we have 2 purples and 3 oranges and 2 greens. The green in the center isn't going to do me a whole lot of good, but I can always rotate it somewhere else. So, and I'm going to need a green up top in order to eventually get the purples up top so that I can push them back down. But first up, I'm going to need to do something clever. Yeah, I'm going to need to do something clever. How am I going to get a... I can turn one of these green and then do that. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how I was ever going to get a black in the top row, but I just figured out how. Having done that, I can then turn this orange black. And then I could get a... I want to get this black out of the middle. In order to do that, I should swap a purple up top and then have the purple move down. Now with the black up top, I can swap them to the bottom. And then I also need another black surrounding you. And in order to do that, I can just do this and then train cars. And now you're surrounded by 2 blacks, so you'll change your color. Now one of the blacks should move back up top, and then they can train cars around. And we solved this one. Alright, I'm enjoying this. A patient figure, a reckoning great. I think I forgot to magnify the second one, so let me go back and do that just while I'm thinking of it. Assuming I can find it again. A sullen cross is 5 stars align. I don't think there's going to be anything magnified on here, but it's good to look. Okay. What do we got going on over here? We have yellow, who likes to move north, but he's already north. So green is going to have to do some swap-madoodles, I imagine. So let's get green over here. Sure. But that doesn't do much for me. Ah, but then yellow could move over here and green could swap over, and now yellow can move up. Okay. So, what does this enable me to do? It enables me to get blacks on the bottom, which is probably helpful. It seems helpful. Would I want a green here? I feel like the green on the top and the bottom is going to be especially necessary. So I need yellow to push the blacks out of the middle row, which means I need yellow on the bottom. There, I've pushed a black out of the middle row. Now I need to do the same thing again, I think. So, let's get a yellow on the bottom. Train cars it over. Switch-a-madoodle. Flippity floopsy. Bippity boppity boopity. Followed all that? Good. Okay. The Black King is lying within the last king of 8. The Black King is lying within the last king of 8. The Black King is in the throne room, is lying with the last king of 8. Lying could mean one of two things. It could mean lying down as in a tomb, or it could mean is not telling the truth. What do we have here? Pink is a rotate-a-madoodle, which is a very powerful thing. And so I should be able to rotate the green down, which then allows me to do a swap-a-madoodle. And then I could do some train cars to get blacks on the bottom, and then we've solved the puzzle. In Ares Court, where the king now lays, court, cloak, castle. In Ares Court, where the Arie was also in the black whatever grotto. Is there any chance that I could be using a power sledgehammer? I don't think I have a normal sledgehammer on me. Okay. The oranges could change. The purples go down. Oh, this is an interesting one. I don't have any greens. So I'm going to have some oranges become purple in order to... I need one of them to become black so that I can get 4 blacks in the 4 corners, but I need another one to become black so that I can push a black piece down again. So I think I start like this. And then I need to train cars you around so that you can become another purple question mark. Except for I don't think I want you purple in this row. But this might be my only opportunity. Suppose I did that. Then... I'm not sure this does what I need it to do. I feel like I've messed something up. I could... push this down. And another one of these down, but then how would I ever get a black in the bottom? I'm not sure, but I think I'll try it. Because now at least I can turn this orange to black, so now I've got 2 blacks on the top. But the question is, can I move a black to the bottom? And the answer is no, because to move it down, I can only move it up because these want to go down. So I've pushed too many blacks upward, so I need to reset. Okay. I have a vague gist of what's going on. It feels like this does have to be the first move, even though it doesn't feel like a good first move. In order to ever change orange to purple, I feel like I have to do this. This does not feel like a great start, but maybe it's right. Now, in order to change orange to black, orange is always in the top row. Nothing could ever push it down. Which means it would need a black here and here. But that means... therefore the puzzle's impossible. If I do this, does orange change at all? No, it has no majority surrounding it. It changes to the majority color. So it feels like the puzzle's impossible, because now I can get an orange next to one black, but to get another black, I'd have a black here, and then I'd never be able to push that black back down. I need you to change to black while you're up here. What am I not thinking of? Let's reset the puzzle again. Is there a different way to begin? If I do this now, you don't change at all, of course. So the only opening move that does anything is this. Oh, I can change you to black right now. I'm a dummy. I can change you to black right now. Why did you not change? Oh, it's not a majority because these two guys. Oh, interesting. Oh, ho, ho, ho. But I can do... It's okay. I could do... Actually, is it okay? It's not okay. I could do this. Like, let's just demonstrate. That turns it black, sure. But now it's impossible to ever get any blacks up top because these guys have already moved down and I can't change this orange to purple at this point. So after this opening move... Oh, I could do this. Why is that interesting? I don't know that it is. It allows me to change this to black here. Does this solve the puzzle? Yes. Because now I can do this, can change you to black, and now I've got 2 blacks on the top and 2 blacks on the bottom, and we've solved the puzzle. Okay, that one was a little bit more work for me, but I got there. On the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase. Time-worn, ha ha ha. Okay, 130. Got 2 more to solve, it looks like. We have a rotatey guy, which is super powerful. Orange needs to turn black. Purple likes to move south, but he's already in the south. So let's go ahead and do this, and then I can start rotating the blacks around, which is super powerful. And then I can train cars and get you around. And then I've just about solved it. Yeah, because I could do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and now I've solved it. Great. Will a youth approach with empty arms? A youth, such as one who came up to a cursed chest and pulled out a stone statue in a Blackbridge story once upon a time? I'm not sure. Also, I like the fact that there's greenery around this chest here. When I open the last one, is the center thing going to open? Yellow likes to move north, so I have a few north moves. They are limited in number. And, ooh, this is dodgy. In order to ever change oranges, it's going to need to get a surrounding majority, which means my opening move basically has to be this. Or on the other side, I think without loss of generality it doesn't change anything, and I might even have to do this. What does that get for me? Well, it does allow this guy to change, except for it doesn't. Yeah, this orange isn't getting majority surrounded. Let's reset and see if I could have done anything differently if I go like this to start. So if I do this, then this orange still isn't majority surrounded because of this thing that's happening. Suppose I did this and got a black on the bottom. Then I will never be able to change this guy to black without moving one of these down. If I move one of those down, the puzzle's unsolvable, question mark? Yeah, because this guy can't move up anymore at this point. Okay. So let's reset again. So... well, I have to do this pretty much as one of my opening moves. And then it feels like I also have to do this. So then the question is, what kind of clever train car zinging should I be doing? Should I move this down now? It would get me a majority, which means that now this orange can turn black, sure. But then I can never push these blacks down, so that's not even close to being a solution. What am I not thinking of here? And also, these are basically do-nothing tiles. If only you would turn black right now, but you don't. Is there a reason to turn an orange yellow? That I had not considered. Is there a way to turn an orange yellow? I did not think about this very hard earlier. I think there is. Suppose I did this. You're now yellow, which means I can move these. I can turn you. Why are you not changing? You're not a black majority. Right. He only looks at these two. Okay. So suppose I do this. There's my black majority. And so I managed to get my 2 blacks on the bottom. But unfortunately I missed my opportunity to get them all on top. Because I pushed 2 of these up. Okay, but I think I'm getting somewhere. So what did I do there? Who knows, really? I chose to convert an orange to a yellow somehow. By means I no longer remember. I guess I did this. That's not right. What did I do? This should not be this hard. And yet here we are. So I wanted to have you there, but I also wanted to have a black on the bottom. Which seems pretty... I did this. That's right. Okay. So I can convert somebody to yellow here, sure. But it isn't clear why it would ever help me. I could convert you to black later and push one of the blacks downward. That might help me. So... Come on, brain. You can do it. Suppose I did this, this, this. I can't push one of the blacks downward, though. But I can convert the orange on the bottom now to black, and that solves the puzzle. There we go. I did it. I solved the puzzle. Okay, those were pretty challenging. Without gifts, nor gold, nor mannered charms. I need an empty inventory to do something, is what I'm hearing. So let's read them all in order. And in sky. What do I think the order would be? Could be starting here. In Ares' court, where the king now lays. Perhaps this is Ares' court. Perhaps that's where the king lays. Perhaps that's where I'm going to find a scepter. On the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase. Maybe I have to be here at 1:30. I don't have a clock on me. It's not a thing. Will a youth approach with empty arms? I should come here with an empty inventory. That's why the trading post is going to be so valuable, I bet. Without gifts, nor gold, nor mannered charms. And I'd have to get rid of all of my... Ooh. How would I do that? The laundry room? I'm not even sure. Offhand, because I've got so much allowance. And in sky above, a brilliant sign. It continues to be described here. A sullen cross as 5 stars align. So it wants me to have the 5-pointed star in the observatory sky, as perhaps the only thing that I've witnessed today. Oops, I was about to miss one. A patient figure, a reckoning great. A patient figure, a reckoning great. I'm not sure. The black key is lying within the last king of 8. Last king of 8. 8 kings from the 8 realms, and so it's saying that the Black King is lying here, maybe? That seems plausible to me. So I think the way I'm reading this is a giant clue of preconditions that I need to fill. I need to come down here basically with an empty inventory and possibly some other things in the sky, etc., at the sacred hour of 1:30. And then this will open to me, is how I'm reading all of that. I'm going to presume that I did not really take a look at this little vestibule. Alright, I don't see anything particularly noteworthy. I'm going to assume that this door is going to stay open now forever. But rather than just assume, I guess we can test it on the next day, right at the start of the day. And my power is now Rook, I presume? Yeah, Resilience of the Rook. Okay. This is good. This gave me some direction. And I don't know how long it would have taken me to figure that out on my own, so I'm kind of glad that I saw somebody else accidentally stumble into changing chess pieces like that. With my day, I have more rooms I could draft, but I don't know that it helps me at all. Look at all the chests in the entrance hall. I don't care about your chests. Spending down gold is very hard, but spending down my allowance... Oh man, I could change allowance and observatory stars in the laundry room, I think. And that would be a way to... And I can spend observatory stars using the inkwell. So that would be a way to spend down if I decided that I had to do that. So... that is a possible way that I could get rid of all those things. The ballroom music sheets also talked about like having neither gold nor gems when the clock strikes 12 or something at one point. And so that's interesting. I think the first thing I want to do today is to go and check the precipice and see if things are as I expect. By the way, if you've taken the microchip will just reappear the next day here. And also just sitting right next to the West Bridge. Like, you don't have to dig it up again. And the third microchip will be back in the grotto. So those are things that I discovered off camera. So let's go back down to the precipice and see if the castle door is still open. If not, it means I have to do it on a day where I draft a full chessboard. So I need to draft the chessboard early so I could then spend myself out of all my resources if that's the case. And I'd have to be constantly swapping between Rook and King, probably. But let's see, maybe it'll just stay open. So where is the darn... Here. Did this stay open? It did stay open. Okay, great. And also, how does this... I thought this was going to be solving the riddle of castling and I was doing all kinds of things, but no. Castling was something else. So I have to reincorporate what I was doing here. Also, when I was originally doing the castling, it was CIX add SIX TOR LOR ETT. LOR ETT was word east. It didn't occur to me. I was thinking add 6 to rank, TOR to rank, but TOR also means counterclockwise. And so it would make sense if all of these were Arajan words, counterclockwise, word east. If you're on a compass rose and you go from east to north, that would turn you to INN. CIX add 6 And then this could be like INN somehow. These are things I was thinking about off camera since whenever I recorded the previous episode. Yeah, there's a lot to think about. There's always a lot to think about in this game. But rather than try to think it all through right now, I think I should call this an episode so that I can noodle on some things before the next episode. So I'll just say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon for more blueprints where there are more mysteries than I can shake a stick at. You know what I should do? I have so many notes. I should have a day where I just go through my notes with you all so you can see all the things I've been thinking about before we move on. I think that makes sense. So maybe we'll do that next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.